This conference will now be recorded.
All right, guys. So let's continue with the flow controls. Yesterday we discussed about just basic if and else, right? We'll continue from there. All right. So I think no, I forgot to mail you. Anyhow, I'll write another Python 5 if else. Okay. So basic example, guys. I'm going to write a very basic example now. Okay. The requirement will be like this. So write a program to print the day name based on the user input number. The program is very simple and straightforward. So what I'm doing here, right? So user is going to enter some number, and based on the given number, so we need to print the day name. That is the requirement. Okay, then the first question that you come like, so where is that mapping, sir? So somewhere we have to map it, right? So where is that mapping, guys? Meaning that, so to the number, to the day, we need a mapping or not, right? So maybe you can start with the 0, or you can start with 1, like up to you. So 0, I'm thinking that 0, I'm considering 0 as a Sunday. Okay, I'm mapping 0 with the Sunday. Understand, guys? 1 with Monday, 2 with the Tuesday. Okay, 2 with the Tuesday. Okay, 3 with Wednesday. Like that, I wanted to map. Is that clear, guys? 5, I wanted to map with what? Friday. And 6, I would want to map with what? Saturday. Okay, so these are the numbers that I'm going to give. Any one of the number I will input from the keyboard, right? So now user input. So user is going to enter some number, any of these numbers. Then as soon as the user entered the number, say for example, user entered number 2, then my program should tell that what day it is. Okay, so boss, you entered number 2, and 2 is mapped to Tuesday. That's what I wanted to print. Hope you understand the requirement. Okay, you understand the requirement, right? So the first thing I had to ask the user to enter the number, right? Okay, so then I will say, okay, user, hey user, please enter any number between 0 to 6, right? So enter any number between 0 to 6 to get the name, day name, map to the number. Okay, something like that I am asking the user, right, guys? So whatever I'm giving inside this input function will print to the console as it is, right? Will print it to the console as it is. So that and again, whatever the user is entered, the entered value is going to written by this input function as a string. But here it is a number, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have to typecast this number into integer. So int of. So here we'll say here I have to close it. Okay, so I have converted that into integer number. So that is what my day number, something like that. I'll take my variable name. Okay, so this is a day number. You can take like that, or you can take like this. However you want, you can create your variable name. Right now, so what is next thing? If the number is 0, then I have to print what? Sunday, correct? So what conditional statement I'm going to use here? Come on, you have to respond, guys. You can speak or you can ping me in the chat box, but you have to respond. You have to respond. Okay, so here day number. So what conditional statement I have to use? If condition. Okay, that is what the conditional statement. So here expression I have to give it, right? So what is that expression? If day number is equal to 0, I have to compare with the 0, right? This is what user entered value. User can enter any one of these values, 0 to 6. Okay, so for suppose user entered 0, then 0 equal to 0. 0 equal to 0. This is a comparison operator. So this value, whatever user entered, I'm comparing with what? 0. I'm comparing with what? 0. So if it is 0, right? Then what I have to print? I have to print. Okay, so the number is mapped to Sunday. I have just a print statement like this. Correct? Is it correct or not? That's correct, right? So in a similar way, do you understand, guys? Do you understand this? Everybody, please ping me who doesn't, who don't understand. Like ping me here. If I don't see no, meaning that everybody understand. That anyone who doesn't understand? Okay, okay. Hope everybody understand this expression and the condition. So Muhammad, if one not understand, yes, that's what I'm looking for. Like the people who don't understand, you have to raise your hand. Otherwise, like you, there is no point of proceeding. Okay, so I am asking the user to enter the number. So whatever user entered, the number will be in the form of string, meaning that if user entered 0, but the value will be like this. It will be coming like this as part of this input function. But that 0, I am not going to compare with the number, right? So if I compare like this, so this is integer type, this is string type, so it gives false. So what I had to do is, even this also I have to convert it into integer. So that is where I have used int function. What this int function does, so meaning that something like int of 0. What this is going to do is, it is going to convert that integer, meaning that the output of this is 0. Now that 0 I'm comparing with the 0. So 0 equal to 0 becomes true. When it is true, meaning that number is 0, then it is Sunday that I'm printing. That's all I'm doing. So here day number that user entered from the keyboard. So that can be 0, that can be 1 or 2, any one of these numbers from 0 to 6 he can enter, right? So that is what we are doing here. So if the expression results to true, then it will print. Now the same thing I have to do with what? How many cases I have? Total 7, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, correct? Okay. So if it is 1, if it is 2, if it is 3, if it is 4, 5, 6. Okay, 5, 6. 0 to 6. So all I have filled up. Now if it is number is 1, then I have mapped to what? Monday, right? So here it is Monday, and now number is mapped to 2, the day is Tuesday. The number is mapped to 3, that is Wednesday. 4, Thursday. This is Friday and Saturday. Okay, so this is how I have written. Okay, audio can't visible, maybe problem at your end. Please check, Srinama. Ahlad, yes, you, that is up to you. If you want to just print like this or whatever you want to print it, that's it. You can print like this also. Okay, just I made more sense, that's it. I've given more printing stuff. That's up to you. Whatever you want to print, you print it, but the day name we are going to print. Switch case, Nihar. In Python, we don't have switch statement. Okay, that support is removed, so we don't have a switch statement in Python. Okay, and there is no special requirement of switch statement, so they just did not implement that. In Python, we don't have switch statement, so you can use list type, array list. Yeah, but loop can we use for loop for this program? Yes, Vahini, you can use it, but we still did not go there, right? Just we are talking about the if condition, so we are trying to understand the conditional statement completely. Once we are good with that, then we'll jump into the loops. Once you are comfortable with the loops and everything, then however you want, you can solve the problem. You can combine all of them, like flow controls. We can combine operators, variables, all combination. Like we had to use all these fundamentals to write the program. Right, guys. So are you comfortable with this? Hopefully, no questions around this kind of logic, right? So same logic I have written for six times or 7 times. Okay, now I'll run this. I will run this. So it is saying that, hey user, please enter any number between 0 to 6 to get the day mapped to the number. Okay, then I'm entering a number, say 5. I'm the user now who is using this program. So the user is entered what? 5. So 5 is mapped to what? 5 is mapped to Friday. So the number is mapped to Friday. Correct? Now I'll execute one more time. So this time I will enter 2. Number is mapped to Tuesday. I will enter 0. The number is mapped to Sunday. So is it working fine or not? Number is mapped to Saturday. Okay. I will enter some different number, guys. 10. I'm entering 10. Then what is the output? I'm entering 10 here. What is the output here? So when I enter 10, I don't see anything. So meaning that it doesn't map to anything, right? It is not mapped to anything. Okay, so that is one issue or not? We had to, so we need to tell them, the user, boss, you have entered a number which is not in the range of 0 to 6. Please enter the number in between 0 to 6. I have to tell to the user because user forgot or maybe user confused. So he entered number 10, but that is not there. So then we need to tell to the user, boss, whatever number you entered is out of range. So we don't have any day mapped to this number. Something like we had to provide some message, meaningful message to the user. Understand, guys? Okay, so that is one issue. And the other issue, if you look at here, this program is working fine, but is it a feasible code? Meaning that it's a best code, a best programming code. Is this best? So that is what you have to understand here. Okay, so here to understand that better, let us understand about the debugging. Okay, hopefully I did not discuss about the debugging right earlier. Okay, so understand how to debug in PyCharm. Understand the debugging here. So I can debug. I can debug this program, guys. Just click on this border, this line, border line. Okay, wherever you want to stop the flow, just click on that. So it keeps some red balloons, right? Bubbles. So nothing but breakpoints. What does it mean by breakpoint? So during the execution time, the program is going to halt over there. During the execution time, the program is going to stop over there. Understand? During the program execution, so it's going to stop over there at the breakpoint, right? So how to debug it? So instead of running that, you have to click on this debug. Okay, we have an option of debugging, so you have to click on it, debug. So now the flow will stop over there. Okay, right now, so the before the breakpoint I have this line, so that is the reason it is asking to enter the number here. Okay, let me enter the number 2. Okay, number 2 I am entering. Okay, now see that the execution flow is stopped at this line or not. Where it's not completed, still we are there, it's not completed, so the flow is at this point, at this line number 3, correct? What we have to do is now I wanted to go line by line execution. Okay, so line by line I'll click on this. Now day number is what? Day number is 2. 2 equal to 0. No, false. So as this is false, it doesn't get inside and it will not print. It comes to the next if statement. Day number is what? 2. 2 equal to 1. No, false. It comes to the next if statement. Day number equal to what? 2. So now it is matched, right? Okay, so so this is matched, so number is mapped to Tuesday. I got my answer, correct? So pay attention guys, please pay attention here. Now I got whatever I'm looking, I got the output, correct? So here it will print that, you see that. So number is mapped to Tuesday. So as soon as it is mapped, the execution is done and it is coming out of it? No, right? Still it is executing. Then what is the point of still executing the program, guys? Because I already got my answer. But if you look at the code, still it is going further or not. So it is checking the other condition, it is checking the other condition, it is checking the other condition. So all remaining code it is executing or not, which is unnecessary or not. Which is unnecessary. Are you guys following? So that is what the problem with this kind of coding. Okay, even though like if the user is entered 0 in the first if condition itself, I got my answer, but still it is going to check all the if conditions, which is unnecessary, takes time. Unnecessarily, that is going to take time. That's going to hit the performance in bigger code. You feel that okay, it is a small thing, but when you have more conditions, every condition it has to evaluate or not, that is which is actually not required. So that is where here we have a concept of, okay, we have a concept of if else ladder. Okay, in such case don't write the program like this. Okay, so the above program is not following the code practices. Okay, it will work, but that is not following the code practices. Okay, so we can rewrite this program. How can I rewrite, guys? So see that. Okay, I'm going to move this to new file. If else if elif example. Okay, see guys, so here I'm rewriting the program. How I'm going to rewriting is, right, so if this condition is not satisfied, meaning that if this condition is returning false, meaning that the user entered number is not 0, then it will come, right? So I'll say if it doesn't match, then only come to the line number 5, otherwise don't come. That's what I wanted to convey. So using the conditional statement, how I'm going to convey, guys? How I'm going to convey using a conditional statement? How I'm going to convey to the interpreter, but if this condition is not satisfied, then only you come to here. If this condition is not satisfied, then only come to this statement. Don't execute all these statements blindly. Don't evaluate all the conditions blindly. If this condition is not satisfied, then only you go here. Otherwise, why you unnecessarily you have to run through all these if conditions? Understand? It's something like whatever I'm looking for, I got it, but still I'm searching for what? That's meaningless, right? So for that, we have a conditional statement, guys. Elif. We have something called elif. Okay, elif. So elif. So you keep all elif. You understand? Now just debug in the similar way. You debug. Okay, how we debug in earlier? So just debug the program. Okay, Now I am entering the number as 1. Okay, so for example 1. Now the flow is halted here. Now it's moving one by one, line by line. Now my day number, what I have entered 1, right? So here the comparison is also with 1, right? So 1 equal to 1, it's going to be true. Then it will get inside and it will print it is Monday. So if you see the console, you got your answer. So now there is no point of further continuing further execution, right? So if you see this, the execution is over. So there is no halting here anywhere. See that even all these are got disabled, meaning that the execution is done. So it's done. So it's not coming to any of the other elif conditions. Once the condition is matched, so that's it. It doesn't go to the any of the other else blocks. Understand? So this is what, guys. So when you have multiple options, so check for the option 1. If you are looking for what option 1 is met, then done, that's it. If not, then only you go to the other choice. If it is not matched, then go to the other choice, then only go to the other choice. Okay, so if any of these are not matched, okay, meaning that so the user entered number is not in between 0 to 6, then I can say simply without having any conditions, okay, I can simply say else, meaning that if it is not matched any of these conditions by default, this is the kind of default case. So then I'll say a user please enter number, please enter the number, please enter number in the given range 0 to 6. So I'm just conveying the message to the user, boss, please enter the number within the given range. Why are you entering a bigger number? Okay, so the program doesn't support. Okay, so I'm saying that 3, it is Wednesday. Let me run one more time. So 5, it says that it is Friday. Let me write one more time. So 8, I'm giving 8. So now it says that, hey user, please enter the number in the given range of 0 6, but you entered what? 8. That's what it coming here. So then user realizes that, oh, I have entered a wrong number. Okay, let me run this again and let me enter proper number. So it's going to be Saturday. This is how it is going to work, guys. So this is what called if else ladder. This is what called if else ladder. Okay, this is what called if else ladder. Do you understand, guys? This is an example of if else ladder. Okay, this is an example of if else ladder. Hope you understand. All right, why do we need this else if ladder? That is what you have to understand. If else if is there, ladder is there, but what is the importance of that? So that is what you have to understand. So hope it's clear for everyone, right? Okay, then I wanted to write another program. So can the if be end by elif, else has to be used in last line? Ma'am, as part of this if else ladder, yes, the else must be last statement. In between you are not allowed to use. If you use that, right, so you break that if else ladder. It's a ladder, right? If elif, if elif, it's a ladder. So if you put something like else in between, so you break that. So this if and else is a combination. This is a sandwich. But what about this? Understand? So you cannot do that. Okay, you cannot do that. So it must be the last statement. Okay, all right. And for that, condition is not required. So condition is not required. Why condition is not required? If nothing is matched here, by default it is going to print. So here it's a default case, so condition is not required. Can we declare the inputs in debugging beginning and checking by program with only one if and else condition? Nihar, what is your question? I did not understand. Declare the inputs in the beginning. Okay. Declare the inputs in the beginning. Inputs in the beginning in the sense what? What does it mean by inputs? Okay, so that you are talking about maybe the other way. So something like this. Yes. Okay, so here you can you can have a dictionary of mapping. Okay, so where you can get the values of 0 is mapped to Sunday, 1 will be mapped to Monday. So this is the other way of checking. You know, this is using dictionary. So like this, you can configure all the mappings. Okay, and there directly you can check L of, okay, or let's say dictionary. So D of 0 or D of 1. So if the value is configured, then it will return that. Otherwise, it will give error. That's it. Simple one line. It'll execute. You can solve it. But here our intention is not that, right? So here, what you have to grab with these examples is no. So how to use the conditional statement? How to use if else later? How to use if else elif else statements? How to use if and else statement? That is our motto. Okay, while solving this problem, so you have a number of approaches. You have n number of approaches. Okay, but here our intention is not just to solve the problem. Our intention is to understand the concept of conditional statement. Whatever you want, you can use, and you give it a try. You solve it. Okay, Nihar, whatever you are thinking, right? Just you put in the system and execute it and let me know. Okay, because I am not getting you completely what you are trying to say. Or you ping me, like you write whatever, however you want to, you write and let me know. Okay, so elif concept. So Ahlad. So elif is like, it's kind of directions, man. It's the kind of direction. Say for example, you are traveling, right? You are traveling. So there you had to take the direction. Okay. So you will check whether there is a right way to go to that. If not, then you will check left. Okay, does it have left route? No. Then you will check straight. Does it have straight route? Yeah, if it has straight, you will go to that. In the beginning itself, we find right route. Yeah, you will go to that right route, right? Again, you are not going to check whether it has left route and other route, because you have to take right. The things like this, like you have to, if it has a right direction, there is a way to go to the right direction. First you will be checking like whether it has the right direction or not. Yes, if it has the right direction, you will travel in that right way, right, the right hand side. And I'll say if right hand side path is not available, then look for the left. Okay, then that is the second case. The second, if the left hand side route is available, then you will take that route and you will go. Okay, then I will say if these two routes are not available, then you will look for straight. If there is a straight, then take that route. Okay, so three options you have. Now you started your journey and you are looking for, first step is what you have to look for right direction. Okay, so you found the right direction, right? You found the right direction. There is a way to go to right direction. Then still, do you want to check whether that has left direction and straight direction? Not required, right? Because you got the right direction where you found your way and you will go in that path. So there is no point of checking the other things. That is a simple concept. When you have multiple options, multiple choices, so you found the choice, whatever you are looking at the beginning. then what is the point of looking for the other choices? What are the choices? Whether the other choices also meeting my choice, or other options also matching with my choice. So it's meaningless and it doesn't make sense. That is what where how programmatically we are going to do is using elif. So this is the syntax. The syntax is if condition and if body, then L if again condition body. So elif condition body. So how many like this? How many elif? It depends on your requirement. Like depends on the logic. So in this case we have 6. So it can go like anything. And at last you're done with all options and only one left out. In that case you just keep else. That's it. And body. So this is the syntax. You have to follow this syntax. Is that clear? Ahlad? Okay, it's all right. So this is how it works. The if else ladder. Okay. Then we have nesting of if else. Nesting if else we have. Meaning that I can write if condition. Okay. If condition, if the condition is satisfied, then again I'm going to write another condition here. If the condition is satisfied, again I can have another condition inside this. Okay, so this body, and for this if I can have else condition, else body. Now for this if I can write else body. Okay, body. And for this if, this is the else. For this if, this is the else. And for this if, so I can write another else. You just need to ensure the mapping, proper alignments, proper indentation. Only you have to check proper indentation when you have multiple if conditions. Okay, then so you have to check the alignments basically. So here one tab space, see here 2 tab spaces, here 3 tab spaces, else. So this belongs to this if condition, right? So how many tab spaces it has? 2. So your else also should start with 2 tab spaces. So meaning that this and this are starting at the same point. So these are related. This f is belongs to this else. Else is belongs to this f. If, and this if is like started with 1 tab space, and this else is started with 1 tab space. So this if condition, else condition are one pack, and this there is no space here. There is no space. So this else is belongs to this if condition. This is a pack. Okay, so we can use nesting like however you want. You can use nesting, guys. Okay, so we can use these nestings even in while loop, for loop also, the flow controls, the looping statements as well. Okay, however so let us take an example. Okay, maybe I wanted to give an offer. I wanted to give an offer to the students, who are attending my AWS batch. So I wanted to offer them Python free. Okay, or say for example the customer, if the customer is a new customer, okay, some realistic example. So if the customer is a new customer, if the customer is a new customer, and if the customer belongs to Hyderabad, then I would like to give some offer. If the customer is out of Hyderabad, so I wanted to give some other offer. Understanding, guys? So the requirement is, so say customer, like say for example mobile customer. Okay, so mobile customer. So I am going to take the customer location. I'm going to take the customer location, for example, enter the customer location. Okay, and is a new customer or existing customer? Is new customer, something like this. I'm going to read it from the input. Okay, is a new customer. So answer this either yes or no. Okay, so I have two inputs from the keyboard, nothing but from the user. Okay, now I'm going to check if he is a new customer. If he is a new customer, is equal to yes, right? If he's a new customer, if he's a new customer, and if he belongs to Hyderabad, is a new customer and he belongs to Hyderabad. So customer location is equal to Hyderabad. Then I wanted to give some offer. Okay, eligible for okay daily 2 GB data pack. Okay, else in the sense out of Hyderabad. For any other location, I wanted to offer eligible for uh, daily 1 GB pack. The requirements, how the requirements comes up, you hope you are understanding. Okay, is a new customer, yes, then only if he's a new customer, then only all this code is going to execute, because all this code is body of this if condition, correct? This is this particular if condition body, because maintaining one tab space. So this whole belongs to this condition, and this print statement belongs to this if. This print statement belongs to this else. The new customer, yeah, you do this. Okay, if he's an existing customer, if he's an existing customer, I have only two options, guys, because user will enter either yes or no. So I have handled the case of yes already. Then again, I don't have to check the condition. Simply I can keep what else, meaning that he is existing customer. If this condition is failing, meaning what? He's not the new customer. Not the new customer in the sense what? He's existing customer. So it comes to else block, right? So here we'll write. So I'll just simply say present no benefits for the existing customers. Make sense, guys? Understand? Something like some realistic example. You take any example. Okay. So now this is how we need the way of writing nested if conditions. So if inside if, nothing but nested. This is nested if. This is what called nested if, nesting. Okay, nesting of the things. Nesting of the things. Hope you guys are following. So run this, enter the customer location, guys. I am entering out of Hyderabad. Okay, maybe Mitchell, Matak, some name. Okay, is a new customer. Okay, he's a new customer. Yes. So yes, he is eligible for 1 GB data pack, because he is out of Hyderabad. If he is he is in Hyderabad, then he would be eligible for what? 2 GB data pack. So say for example location, I'm entering Hyderabad. He's a new customer, then he is eligible for what? 2 GB data pack. Okay, now I'm entering some different location. Okay, maybe Nalgonda. He's a new customer. No, he's not a new customer. He's existing customer. If he's existing customer, there is no point of offer, so he's not eligible for any of us. So our program is running fine as per requirement or not. So that's where we are going to use this conditional nested if statements. So you should understand the motto of these concepts, guys. The objective of these concepts. The syntaxes are simple, straightforward. Hope you understand, guys. Any issues? Any questions around this? Any questions around this? No questions. Good. So you can play around this, guys. You can keep if inside, if again, if you want, you can keep one more if condition here. Okay, maybe based on his usages and all. If you wanted to provide offers, you can add one more condition. Monthly usage is this much, then only you give this pack, otherwise no. So you can add one more level also. So it can go any number of levels. There is no restriction. It can go any number of levels. There are no restrictions. Okay, what we understand is elif conditions, and we understand about the nesting of the if. Okay, so you can still you can play with that. I'll see if I can send you assignments on this flow controls and all. So as soon as I'm done with the while loop, for loop. Okay, we have iterative statements, guys. Okay, we have iterative statements. We have iterative statements. When you look at the iterative statements, as the name itself says that, okay, iteration process. Iteration process in the sense it's going to be repeat. So iteration in the sense it's a looping thing. So it's keep repeating the things. Somewhere it will come out of it, the loop. Somewhere it will be coming out of the loop. Yeah, whether Sri, go through the recorded session one more time. So you be in touch with our team, they will share the recorded session as requested. Okay. Yeah, so when you are looking at these iterative statements, right? So when you wanted to execute the same lines of code again and again for multiple times, then we have to think about the iterative statements. What are the iterative statements we have is while loop and for loop. While loop and for loop. Okay, iterative statements what we have, while loop and for loop. Okay, while loop and for loop. So fine. So how it is going to work? Okay, so you used to go to the temples, right? Temples. So some people like do 3 rounds. Some people does 11 rounds. Okay, if you go to Balaji Temple, Hyderabad, so we'll be doing 108 rounds, right? Maybe if your wish is fulfilled, you will be going through 108 rounds. Then it's very difficult to count and remember the count, right? Because it's like crowded like anything. Okay, so you would be roaming around the temple like by saying Govinda Govinda, correct? Correct, guys. So your wish definitely will fulfill, guys. So give it a try. Okay, so now so you uh, so going through the number of rounds, right? Saying Govinda. So in between somehow you may lose the count, right? You may lose the count. So for that, what we do is, so there is a slip. Okay, you can pick that slip. So that slip has total 108 numbers in this format. Okay, total 108 numbers in this format. Okay, so you take a pen and you count it. So it will be like 1 2 3 4 like that till 108. So there is a numbers printed on that card. Yes, Chilpuri temple, right? Yes, correct. Kapil, yeah, Chilpuri Bala's temple, right? So there is a slip or card, something like that, where they have listed 1 to 108, 1 to 108. So what we do? So when I go for a first round, okay, I will tick this. I will check like whether my 108 rounds are reached. No, right? Just I'm done with one. I'll go for one more round. Then what I'll do? I'll just tick the second one. Okay, still did I reach my 108? No, so then I'll go for one more round. Again I will click on tick on this third number. So my 108 is reached, no. So then again I'll tick mark on the second next number. So 108 reached, no. Again I'll go one more round. So like this we'll keep doing it, right? Till what? Till all the numbers are done, and if we reach 108, now 108 is reached, right? So this is where we are going to come out of it. Somewhere we'll be coming out of that loop. Okay, so that is what the story now we are going to talk about. Okay, so for this case, we have to start with somewhere, meaning that we are starting with 1. Okay, we are starting with 1. We are going up to what? 108. We are going up to what? 108. So every time, so this number is changing or not? 1 is less than 108, yes, so we have to do that. 2, next number is 2. 2 is also less than 108, so like that I have to do it. 3, 108, this number is not going to change. 108 number is not going to change, because every time before going to the next round, right, I will check whether I am completed with my 108 or not. What is my round number? 4 less than 108, meaning that I did not reach. So in that way I'm going to compare every time these my numbers with this 108 number. So here 108 is going to be fixed number, because that is what my target, and the expression is like here my number is going to change. So starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that it will reach what? 108. So this number is going to change, right? So that is what this is. We are going to take a variable here, and that variable, as soon as we are done with the round, we are going to change this variable number 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, like that. Okay, that is what the story of thing. So instead of printing 108 times, what I'm doing is I'm printing, okay, just Govinda. Okay, how many times I have to print? 108 times. So my target is 108. Okay, so here I'm going to take a counter, guys. That's what to track the number. That's what the box. So this is going to change. So execute this line till my condition is satisfied. Okay, execute this line till my condition is satisfied. While means what? So whenever this condition is satisfied, yeah, you execute this line. Again, check the condition, execute the line. Check the condition, execute the line. That's how it is going to do. So my counter, where my counter has to start, so I have to initialize that, right? So counter, I'm starting my counter with what? 1. Okay, my counter is 1. Now I am printing for the first time. Now when I'm going to the second time, I have to increase my counter. That's all I have to do, because 1 for the first time, counter will be 1. For the first time, the counter will be what? 1. So 108 my target. 1 less than 108. Okay, satisfied. Okay, then execute this, Govinda. One round is done, right? Then I have to go for the second round, meaning that my counter has to increment. So plus 1 I'm doing. 2 less than 108, right? So satisfied. Now it will come and it will print this. Again, I am going to increment my counter by plus 1. So 2 becomes what? 3. So 3 less than 108. So it is going to satisfy. So again it comes into the loop and execute this line, print. Then again I'll increase the counter by 1 plus 1. It becomes 4. 4 less than 108. It continues like this until it reaches 108. Okay, 108 less than 108. The condition fails, right? This is false. Then it will break this loop and come out of the loop. Okay, how many times it is going to print while this condition is satisfied? How many times this condition is going to satisfy? 108 times this condition is going to satisfy. So that's how the iteration process works. So now I have only one print statement here, but I am controlling the execution of this statement by using this control statements, looping control statement, so that it will print 108 times. So see that it is printed so many times, and of course if you want you can count it 108 times. So to know the count, just to know the how many times it is printed, you add the counter here, so that you will get to know how many times it is printed. Okay, 107. Okay, it started from 1 and printed 107. What about 108? So it's a sin basically. So you have to complete 108 rounds first. 107 you do, one you did not do. Okay, so you have to start from the beginning again. So 108 also we had to finish. So 108. So what is the logic I changed? I changed is equal type of condition as is equal to. Okay, now started from 1 and it goes up to what? 108. So here this is what initialization, this is the condition, and this is the body, this is the body, and yeah, increment or decrement operator. So this is what the while loop is. So while loop has three steps to follow. Okay, initialization, condition, then increment or decrement. So you had to follow you had to remember these three things. You have to initialize it, meaning that where you wanted to start. So you have to start with 0 or you have to start with 1. That is what the starting point. Then condition, so ensure that your condition is proper, then your body, then at last increment. These are the three things that you have to follow. Okay, now so while body executes till the condition satisfied. Okay, guys, any questions around this, guys? Any questions around this? Cool. Now the assignment for you guys, write a program to print only even numbers from 1 to 100. Print only even numbers from 1 to 100. Try this program. Print only even numbers from 1 to 100. So this is where you have to use your while loop and your if conditions, your operators all together to solve this problem. Okay, write a program to print only even numbers. Write a program to print all the multiples of 3, multiples of 3, multiples of 5 from 1 to 100. Okay, just try to solve these two problems for today, guys. Okay, I'll start giving more problems now. Okay, so for tomorrow you try to finish these two basic problems. These are also a little basic problem, but yeah, give it a try. Slowly I will give you complex problems. Okay, so let's wind up for today here. Tomorrow I'll talk about for loop, and along with that nested for loop, meaning that nesting of these loops, iterative statements. I can have a for loop inside while loop. I can have a while loop inside a for loop, or I can have a while loop inside a while loop. I can have a for loop inside a for loop. Basically nesting of all these loops, looping things. Okay, we'll see tomorrow. We'll talk about them tomorrow, guys. Any questions, any doubts, any confusions? Varaprasad, you be in touch with Rachna or Vinay or Kishore. Our team will help you out in that. Because I'm not going to look into those things. Okay. Please be in touch with them. They will help you out. Ping Rachna. She's there in the chat box. So in the list. So ping her, and there will be a WhatsApp group. You can contact them there also. Okay, that's all, guys. So if you have any other doubts related to the topic, yeah, I'm planning to wind up.